Hey guys, another video for you. It's going to do a quick video on the interior of my 85 pickup. So you can see, not a lot of room in here. It's standard cab, has a rear sliding window, but really no room behind the seats. I'll show you that in a second. What stands out here in the interior is this custom touch that I put in here. This was originally a coin pocket. Some models that had rear defrost had a switch there for rear defrost. This is actually now an in-cab remote for the winches. So I have this selector here, that's for the front winch, that's for the rear winch. When it's in neutral, then neither of the switches operate. So that was something that I put in there. If you look down here, this is something else that wasn't in here before. That's actually a 12-volt plug for a trouble light. You can actually plug in a trouble light as long as it has a 12-volt bulb in it, and that'll be your trouble light. We have the deck switch there. Going up, you can see here's the SR5 Dash. The SR5s all came with the dash that had the tack in it and the 4 other gauges. If you didn't have the SR5 package, I believe you only had the speedo and the fuel and the temperature. You didn't get the oil pressure or the volt gauge. Coming back here, there's some more switches there. These rocker switches are for the lighting for under vehicle. So forward, backward lighting, and the middle lighting there. Something here that you won't see on any gas vehicle, but I have it. This knob here, it's a throttle knob. So that's supposed to be for a diesel so that you can throttle it up. What I have it there for is to throttle it up when I'm using the winches. If it's only turning at 1,000 RPM, you're not really getting a lot of charging coming out of that alternator. So I have this to throttle it up. I can throttle it up as little or as much as I want. So found that kind of a handy tip there. Just kind of retrofitted it from another Toyota vehicle. So you can see here in the center stack, tribute to the 80s, good old Alpine radio there. Those 2 rocker switches up above, those were just blanks. Now one's for the front fog light, the other one's for the rear fog light. And this underneath is actually genuine Toyota, but you don't really see them a lot here. I think it was JDM only. It's really just a multi-box that slides down, comes out, you can put whatever you want in it. And this one's actually kind of neat. Useless, but neat. It actually has a combination there. So you can actually lock it so no one can get in it, except that it's plastic, and because it's probably from the 80s, it's brittle as can be, and you can probably break into it no problem. But it's there, it's kind of neat. It's just kind of a gimmick feature. There you go, you can see all the HVAC controls. Everything's very manual, cable pulls. There's no vacuum or electronic in these days. And actually, I believe the SR5s are the only ones that actually came with a clock as well. If you didn't have the SR5 model, that was just blanked off with a blank off plate. Up top here, this is another JDM item. This is your clinometer. So on the very left-hand side, that's actually an altimeter. And then you have roll and pitch there. Moving over, there's your classic decal that all the Toyotas back in the day had. This is how you shift the transfer cases. You can see that this isn't the factory one because it actually has triple sticks there. If it was the factory one, it would just have one pattern down and it looked almost like a U. Instead, this one has the triple sticks, and that's because I do indeed have the triple sticks here. So obviously that's transmission. This one is the original shifter. That's for, now it's just a range box. It actually doesn't transfer power anywhere. So that's in high right now. It has neutral and then low range is all the way down. The other two, here you go. This one is also a range box. So that one's in high right now, neutral, and that's low range. So I can put them both in low or one in low at a time, both in high. Lots of options there. And then this is just your 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. So I can do all the range boxes in 2-wheel or 4-wheel independently. You can see over there on the other side, that's just something that I 3D printed to cover up a big hole in the door because previous owner did the typical thing, cut a big hole in the door for speakers. I didn't really like it because these doors are super thin, so you can't really fit a good speaker in there anyways. You had to space them out, and because it goes right into the door, all sorts of water and mud and everything else gets in there. I've had water coming in through the speaker, so really not the best. It didn't sound great anyways because honestly, these are, you know, really, really thin, tinny doors. So half the music goes outside, half the music comes inside. With all those factors, I just decided enough, blank it off. I didn't want to go and buy a new door or new inner panels. They are available, but they're all, you know, super expensive for them. So just ended up printing that off. It's just a blanking plate. There's absolutely nothing behind it other than a hole. So if we now look behind the seats, you see here that the seats do come forward. I have a fire extinguisher mounted there just because. Some quick fist mounts. That was originally for, I believe it was for a jack handle. But the jack handle wasn't in here, so I just repurposed those mounts, put on quick fist, and now it has an axe there. You can see there's a bottle jack down there. That's the original space for it. And then I just have some toolboxes, things like that. This is an ammo can center console. This truck didn't have a center console when I got it, so I just put an ammo can in there, and it's watertight. And that's actually where I keep the switches for the remotes for the winches and a couple other things in there. You can see here that even though I didn't have those speakers in the doors, I actually 3D printed off some cans. So, you know, I mounted those cans there. There's actually two. You can only see one. One's facing this way, the other one's facing the other way. And that's where I ended up putting the door speakers. Honestly, sounds a lot better. It's a lot deeper. The sound is all maintained now so that the sound actually is directed out through the speaker instead of just going into an empty cavity. So it actually sounds pretty decent. Anyways, that's kind of the run through of the interior. Not a lot going on. You can see it has sunroof. That's factory sunroof from Toyota. When you have the sunroof, you do have the lights here, but I believe there's also light there as well. So you still do have some interior lights, even though you do have the sunroof. Sunroof is one of those that just pops up. You can actually take it out so it fully comes out. Handles are, I think they're meant for a Jeep, but you know, they're a little bit easier. The factory ones were solid, so if you're jumping up in here and you're pretty tall, there's potential to knock your head on there. I know a couple people have done it. So these ones actually, you know, they're flexible, so they just move out of the way. Got them on both sides. Anyways, that's where we're at right now with the truck. There'll be another video coming up because there is no carpet in this truck. There's no underlayment, no carpeting, no sound deadening, and it does make a lot of noise when you're driving it. It's really loud. So I'm going to be putting in some sound deadener in the future, and I'll probably make another video on that to show you where I'm putting the sound deadener, how it's going in, what type of sound deadener I used. There's a lot of different brands out there. I think Dynamat's probably one of the more popular ones, but it's not the only one out there, and there's a lot of different options. So I'll walk you through that coming up in a future video. So if you like this video, let me know, and I'll do a couple more videos on the truck. A couple more things that I can show you, probably a drivetrain, other little custom touches that I've done on the truck. But let me know how you like it, and I'll make a couple more videos. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Bye.